Welcome everybody to my first episode of In the Cat Box, brought to you by Gato Airsoft. So here we are, kicking off my first episode of my new video series, and I am super stoked for it. I have a lot of things planned for this video series, but I thought, why not kick off this series with one of the most important pieces of gear for any airsofter, their kit. Now, the kit's going to vary depending on how you play airsoft. Some people will be support, some may be assault, some may even be into speed softing, but I am a sniper, of course, so this is how I run my kit. So here we have it, the kit that I wear every single time that I'm out playing airsoft. So I unfortunately do not have a selfie cam, so you guys may not see a lot of the gear that I use. So that's really another reason why I decided to create a video series like this, to kind of explain what I use, why I use it, maybe give you guys some ideas for how you guys go out and play airsoft. So as you can see with my kit, it's fairly simple, but it's quite designed for me personally. There's a lot of personal touches that I've done to this myself, and we will definitely go into that into detail later in the video. So as you can see, my kit is built basically with a rig as well as a ghillie here, which is actually built around the kit. Now this ghillie is attached to a standard multicam BDU top, but this top is quite customized to be more like a ghillie tog. Now we'll get into exactly how I designed this tog, how I got to this final product later in the video. And I will supply links to as many of the items that I used in my kit down in the description. So for starters, we're going to go over the pouches, what I carry on me, and why maybe you guys should carry it on you as well. So here we have the front panel of my rig. Now the rig that I use is a fairly common basic Condor rig. You can find it on just about any airsoft website, any store out there. I'll supply a link for that, as well as all these pouches that I use down in the description. So let's start over on the right side here, and we'll move on over to the left. So starting on the right here, we have a fairly basic utility pouch. Now inside of this utility pouch, I carry a variety of things. First, I carry all the tools that I may ever need while playing airsoft. Now this includes the hop-up key for my Action Army hop-up. This is very important for any of the airsofters out there that use this hop-up in their VSR 10s. I also carry a basic first aid. Now you really never know what could happen out at an airsoft event, especially some of those longer ops. So it's always kind of a good idea to have something like this on you just in case. So moving on from there, we go to the middle of this panel, where we have 3 pistol mag pouches. Now, I actually only use one of these mag pouches for my spare Mark 23 mag, but I use the other 2 for my spare VSR 10 mags. Now, a lot of snipers use pistol mag pouches to hold their VSR 10 mags just because they really are the best mag pouch for VSR 10 mag. Keeps them from moving around, losing them, getting that dust and dirt inside of them. So they're really great, and I really recommend them for any sniper who's looking for a good magazine pouch to use. Now moving on from there, we have another fairly basic utility pouch. I've got some chem lights on there, basically just for cool guy points. You don't really need those out in the field unless you're absolutely using night vision and such like that out at an op. Now, inside of this utility pouch, I store a couple other important utilities. So I have a knife. This can be very important while in the airsoft field, of course, when carried and used responsibly. And I also carry the 2 speed loaders that I use. So I've got one for my pistol and one for my rifle. It's very important to keep these BBs separated since they are 2 different weights. I'm sure many snipers out there can relate to this. So definitely important to carry these with me just in case you get into a hairy situation and need to reload. Now, I also carry inside this pouch another very important piece of gear. Every airsofter should be carrying this, and that is a dead rag. We all get hit out at airsoft. I know I sure do. So it's very important to have that, and have that somewhere where you can easily access it. Now, moving on over here to the farthest left, we have my radio pouch. Now, this radio pouch is really just a M14 mag pouch. I chose to use an M14 mag pouch just because it was a really good height for my bail frame radio, and I really just had it laying around. I'm really big on using things that I've got instead of going out and spending money on something new, trying to improvise and make do with what we got. So works really good for my bail frame radio, and that's the comms that I use on my kit. I usually use a Z-Tac headset, but I've been using a really nice earpiece off Amazon. Definitely supply a link to that down in the description below. It's a pretty inexpensive way of communication for airsofting, and definitely recommend it for any airsofter out there that is looking to start communications. So here we have the ghillie and combat top portion of my kit. Now, as you can see, I actually have the shoulder straps as well as the hydration backpack that attaches to the rig coming up and through the shoulders of this combat top. Now, I simply did this by just doing 2 incisions here at the top shoulders of the combat top and just feeding those shoulder straps straight through. And this was basically to make ease of use for myself and what I was trying to achieve. I didn't want the hydration backpack to be over the ghillie here on the back, so I decided to leave the hydration backpack on the inside, but still have the pouches and all the things I might need while in the field accessible on the outside. Now, this combat top has been quite customized myself a variety of ways. Now, first off, I have actually cut the combat top just about below the pec line. Now, I did this to kind of replicate a ghillie tog look. I didn't want to be carrying around, or wearing around rather, a multicam combat top, but I still wanted this multicam camo to obviously match my pants. But it's also just a really great camo, and as you can see here, I've attached buckles. Now, I did this because the zipper had to be taken away once I cut this, so I decided to put the buckles on there to make sure that this never opens up while on the field. Now, moving on to the back of the combat top, we get the ghillie. Now, all this ghillie I did myself. It took me quite a while to do it, but it wasn't really that hard. Anyone out there that is thinking about creating a ghillie, I highly recommend it. You'll definitely be really happy with the results as long as you take the time, put a little patience into it. But I really like how mine turned out. I used 4 base colors. I used a foliage green, an OD green, a dark brown, and a tan. And with them all together, I think they really complement the multicam really well. I think it turned out really great. And I got all of the supplies from the ghilliesuits.com. They have a lot of materials on there. They even have pre-made ghillie suits if you're looking into just going and getting one made for you. So definitely check them out. They'll be down in the description for sure. But as you can see, I've got some natural vegetation in here that I've picked up along the way. It's always smart to incorporate that into your ghillie. And I'm planning on creating a video on how to create a ghillie, the basics to it. So definitely keep an eye out for that. So with the whole kit put all the way together, this is the final product. This is what I wear every single time I play Airsoft. It works really great for me, and I really hope that you guys picked up maybe a thing or two that you guys can use for your own kits while playing Airsoft. If you guys have any questions regarding any of this, definitely shoot them down below. I'll try to answer them as best as I can. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Really enjoyed making this video. Definitely excited for all the future ones that I plan on making. And be sure to tune in to our next one when we go over my pride and joy, my VSR 10. definitely not going to miss out on this one. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will catch you next time.